All right, some breaking news now coming in over the controversy over the Sanchar Saathi app. And now it seems that Apple will not plans not to comply, in fact, with the mandate to preload its smartphones with the government-owned cyber safety app. Also, we've learned from sources that Apple will convey its concerns to New Delhi. This is something that Apple has done in other parts of the world as well. And now this controversy, remember, that erupted after it emerged that the government has asked that all mobile phone makers and importers have to pre-install the Sanchar Saathi app, with the opposition claiming it will be used for snooping. Then the government clarified that it can be removed if you don't want to have this app on your phone. But now news emerging that Apple does not plan to comply with this mandate. Let's go across to Himanshu now for more. Himanshu, give us the details. What are we hearing?
Well, clearly, there are different facets of this controversy. One, of course, we saw in Parliament. The other now is from a very important stakeholder of the mobile phone manufacturing industry, especially at the global level. But in between, there is a very important clarification that also has now come from the Communication Minister, Jyotiraditta Scindia himself, where he has asserted that the broader idea behind including Sanchar Saathi app in mobile phones was in fact to strengthen digital security system in the country. This was an attempt to empower common people and make them more strong to deal with cases of digital fraud which are now increasing. In fact, he has shared lots of data which suggests that more than 1 crore people are now connected to Sanchar app, and now that is also now being used more and more to actually deal with cases of mobile theft, of the attempts to steal identity. So I think,
but coming back to the issue of Apple, the concerns that Apple has, if you could, take us through that, because that it seems that Apple is going to convey its concerns to the central government over pre-installing this app, and the notification, it seemed, implied that the app cannot be deleted from the phones. Now the government has clarified that that's not true. It can be deleted. Opposition is claiming that this is a U-turn, after the outrage. But more importantly, with Apple, the news coming in that Apple will not be complying with this mandate that has been given to all phone makers, that they must preload it with the Sanchar Saathi app.
Well, Gargi, I think we'll have to wait for a formal response from the government, because officials are telling us that the notification that was issued and the subsequent clarification, first a statement by the minister in Parliament, and then later on in a tweet he has also clarified the Government of India's stand. I think government has revisited the notification that was issued yesterday, and we should wait a formal response from the government on the Apple's decision, because I think the sense that I made from the statement that Jyotiraditta Scindia had made in Parliament was that it will now not be mandatory. That essentially means if you don't want to use it, you can't keep it in your mobile phone. So if that freedom is being given to an Aam Aadmi, to a common consumer, so we'll have to wait and see whether government is also now revisiting the earlier notification which mandated that at the time of manufacturing itself, this app has to be loaded in the mobile phone. So I think this is a sensitive issue. We'll have to wait for a government to give more clarification as to how far this notification that was issued yesterday, which has now been subsequently revised by the minister. Now, what is the new situation? What is the new context? What is the new norms now that the government wants to issue to the manufacturers? I think we'll have to wait for some more time for more clarity on this issue, Gagi.